Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on our phone and it's time to talk some manga because I know a lot of people or most of the people prefer to actually read their manga on their phone, and I'm pretty sure you all know about Tachiyomi already, and I thought making another video on Tachiyomi again is kind of pointless, so I decided to talk a little bit about the forks of Tachiyomi, which has different features, a little bit more features, and a fork of Tachiyomi is something that I prefer to use myself to read the mangas. So we have two options here which are popular and I think are worth mentioning, and those are Taki J2K or Tachiyomi J2K and Tachiyomi SY. Both of these apps or both of these forks are really amazing apps which you can obviously use to read manga. So if you don't know what a fork is already, a fork is like a improved upon version or a version with a twist from the base version. For example, that is Tachiyomi. So Tachiyomi is a open source project and people can take the source code and modify it to make different iterations of the app itself. So Taki J2K and Tachiyomi SY are two different apps like that, and I decided to kind of introduce you guys with the features and kind of let you guys know that these two exist, and you guys can try them out. These only work on Android as you usually, just like Tachiyomi. I'm sorry, iOS users, and yeah, that's all I can do at the moment. So let's start with Taki J2K, which is the manga app that I prefer to use over the original Tachiyomi, and let's begin. The reason why I like this is, first of all, because of the UI. The UI is a little bit more modern compared to the original Tachiyomi, and the menu system is a little bit more simplified compared to the original one. Everything right here is laid out in a very simple fashion. We have three bottom menus here, which is library, recents, and browse. On like after this new update, they completely changed out like the menu systems and everything. Like everything is a bit more down on the downside of the app for a better one-handed user experience. I think that's a pretty good thing, like a pretty good way to actually do things, because and you, if you want, you can go into the settings and actually make it to the normal like normally how Tachiyomi would look like, but I actually prefer how it looks like. On the top here, we have a search bar where we can actually search for whatever we need. For example, if I want to search for a vagabond, here it is, and I can read. And this is the library as usual. We have manga actually sorted in any fashion that you like. We have display options. We have compact grid, which is like, it looks like this without any the text is kind of pushed into the posters itself. And there's cover only grid, which only shows the cover without any kind of text. Then the comfortable grid, which is easily the comfortable grid. Then you can also change the grid sizes here. If you're a psycho and you want to make it a 1 grid size, you can do that. If you're normal, you can make it 3 grid sized. Then there's staggered grid option, which if you turn off the uniform grid, you can do it like this. Not really a fan of this. I do prefer the uniform grid size. Here we have badges where you can show unread badges. For example, how many chapters are left on a specific manga. I can hide them. I can show like only the bubbles, or show how much unread manga is there. And on the categories, we have different kind of categories depending upon the genre and stuff. So that's all there is to it on the libraries tab. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened right there, so I'm back anyway. So on this is the recents tab. Here we have all the recents, and which is literally like the history of whatever manga that I'm reading at the moment. For example, I read Vagabond, Spy Family, and No Longer Human, which are like my recently read manga. There's also history if I want that. Then on the browse section is where all your extensions are. If you don't know how Tachiyomi handles their mangas. It's on extensions, so technically you have to install a couple of extensions, which you have to from where you can get your manga from. It's a pretty easy process. I'm not sure if I should make a video on that at the moment, but I'll think about it. But I'm pretty sure YouTube is already pretty much filled with a lot of videos on how to make use of Tachiyomi, and and even in their website, their guide is pretty much really well done. Then you also have incognito tab because you know the reason why. And if I go into the settings tab here, we have a general option with like everything on here is pretty much like understandable. Then there's also a theme section, and in one of the recent updates, they completely changed the theme styles. And if you're someone who uses Android 12 or 13 at the moment, you will get this dynamic Material You inspired theme. And you also have a pure black theme, which I'm not really a fan of, to be honest, and you can use it like that. And everything else technically works like Tachiyomi. And by the way, you also have a tracking here. You have tracking from My Animalist Analyst and Kitsu Shikimori and Bangumi, and yeah, it's just like another Tachiyomi, but it's a bit better because, and if I did not show already, like the stuff here is a bit like the design is a bit different. As you guys can see, it's like blurred to the outside. It looks a bit more polished compared to the original one, and I really like how this looks. And this is the manga app that I personally prefer to use. The extensions, updates, and everything is just like the original Tachiyomi. And so that is Taki J2K. The other fork that I want to show is Tachiyomi SY. Tachiyomi SY has a little bit different feature sets. It's a bit more like, I would say, it's a bit more recommendation oriented, I think, more than design oriented, I think. It has, like, look wise, it's kind of similar, like not in the main menu systems and everything, but it has more menu bars, which is similar to the original Tachiyomi, which the J2K has simplified, but SY has a bit more like the original menu system. We have browse, we have history, and we have updates. I don't really understand the reason for updates, but yeah, whatever. Then we have a global update thing where you can update like every sources. So whenever a manga is released, like you will get the update, and as usual you will have a sorting display just like that before, but there are some differences here. So the first one is if you went into your downloads and go into your settings and go into your tracking, and if you actually added one of the tracking services, for example Mal or Analyst, then if you go into the library and let me see, if I go into Vagabond here and if I set see recommendations tab, so if I press on that, I can see recommendations based on Vagabond, which are similar to Vagabond. For example, Berserk and Vinland Saga are similar to Vagabond, so I get that as recommendations. So these are like some of the features of Taki SY. Then another feature, it has another like a loot feature and stuff like that. If you want like the full feature list, I will actually leave the links to download these below, and you should be able to read exactly what features are in there. This video was not really was not made to exactly show every single feature of these, because after you have installed it, if you play around with it, I'm pretty sure you can get it. Yeah, these are like all like the just kind of like a overview of a couple of these apps which I wanted to show of the Tachiyomi. I don't really see people talking about the Tachiyomi forks on here YouTube, and I thought it'd be an interesting video to show to you guys. So if you guys did like this video, drop a like down below, and thanks for watching. See ya in the next video. Peace out.